My name is Melissa from The Little Ford That Could, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a year in review video and answer the question, to YouTube or not to YouTube? That is the question. Okay, so 2019 has gone by out the window. It's kind of crazy to me that we're in 2020 because I can vividly remember Y2K. Anybody else old enough to remember that? And we thought the world might end when we hit the year 2000, and now here we are. Just feels like a blink later in 2020. But I wanted to share kind of what has happened for my family in 2019. It was a huge life-changing year for us, and so I wanted to talk about that a little bit, and then talk about why I only have, I think this is my third video on YouTube, and if I'm going to be showing back up at all. I do have some notes in front of me because I tend to ramble, so I'm going to try not to do that. But so 2019, huge year for us. It was our second full year in business. We opened our own remodeling and repair business called Genesis, and the reason we named it Genesis was because we felt like God had really led us to this place of starting fresh and starting new with a lot of things. Little did we know just how new things would get and how different things would get in 2019, but regardless, we started a new business, and it has done remarkably well, and God has been so faithful to provide to us, and we actually are really enjoying it. Of course, I say we, really it's my husband David who does most of it. I do help with a little bit here and there, but it's really all him. But the business has grown tremendously. It went from a one-man show really, and now we have a full crew of guys that help David every day, and it's been really neat to watch just the business grow just by word of mouth, and people impressed with David's work, and it's just been a really neat thing to watch and be a part of. And so we're looking forward to year 3 for Genesis in 2020 coming up. So something else that was really major for us in 2019 was, and this maybe sounds silly to you if you're not an animal person, especially if you're not a bird person, because people just don't really get birds a lot, I think. But birds are so sweet and snuggly too, just like a dog. I know that sounds crazy if you're not a bird person, but they really are. So we have a Nande Conure. His name is Zazu, and I rescued him, and I just realized that this will be 9 years that I've had him, and we think he's about 15, and he had some major health issues. We had some big scares with him this year, and it was traumatic for me, especially because I'm very attached to him, but also my oldest son Brooks and Zazu are like bosom buddies, and so it was really hard for Brooks too. But thankfully he seems to be much better after 3 scary episodes and 3 very expensive vet visits. We have not had another incident. He was having seizures, we think, but we have not had another seizure since October, I guess. So we feel like maybe whatever it was, we've somehow remedied somehow. I don't know, but we're crossing our fingers that we won't have any more seizures out of Zazu, because we love him. And Nandes typically only live for about 20 years anyway, maybe 25. So we don't have a whole long time left with Zazu, but we love him so much. And so we're thankful that he's still around this year, because a few months ago we weren't sure he would be. More big changes. There's a plane. Can y'all hear that? I never know what my microphone's picking up and what it's not. We have loud noises around here all the time. We live close to an airport, and as I said, we have a Nande Conure who can be really loud. I'm surprised he hasn't screamed yet. Anyway, sorry. So another huge thing is Ford. So Ford is our youngest son. He's 5, and he is really the reason that I started this YouTube channel. He was born full term, 39 weeks, and he seemed very healthy when he was born. He was huge. He was 9'8", and I did another video on more of his story, but he has been chronically ill his entire life, and he has a really long list of severe food allergies, and we are unsure exactly what's going on with his immune system. We've had some immunologists say he has a primary immunodeficiency disease, and we've had some immunologists say he doesn't, but regardless, he has a lot of health problems, and one of his major symptoms, aside from the food allergies, was severe eczema all over, like 98% of his body probably, and it stayed infected, and he was in and out of the hospital, and we almost lost him more than once, and we saw doctors all over, like in 5 different states or something insane like that. Nobody could help us, and so finally we ended up at the end of 2018 being accepted into a study, into a protocol at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland. So we have spent a little over a year traveling back and forth fairly frequently to the NIH, and y'all, they changed our lives, let me tell you. We were able to learn some ways to help manage his eczema. And honestly, if you saw him right now, you would probably say, what eczema? It's a battle, like it's a daily battle to keep it under control. But compared to where we were, he's like a different child, and we are so grateful. But one of the big things that happened was that we actually graduated out of that protocol because his skin is so much better. So in 2019, we were able to graduate out of that protocol, and we just started a new protocol, still at the NIH, that is focused on food allergies. And so we had our first visit the end of 2019, and we're about to go next week back for our second visit and get some of our results from the tests that we took at that first visit, and do some more tests when we go back next week. And so we've still got time at the NIH. We are with a totally new team of doctors and professionals now, although we did get to visit our old team when we were there last, which was really nice because we love them. So anyway, so that was huge for Ford. Big, huge, life-changing. Brooks, my oldest, is 13, and he just finished out his first full year as a member of the Civil Air Patrol. If you don't know what that is, look into it. If you want to know what it is, maybe I'll do a video on it. If you have a child aged 12 to 18 who is interested in the military and specifically interested in aviation, then this is the program for you. It's amazing. So Brooks absolutely loves it. He's 13. He's already learning to fly. There's another plane. Can you hear it? I told you, airport. Sorry. He's already learning to fly, which he loves. That's all he wants to do. But they learn more than just how to fly. It's great leadership training, character building, all kinds of cool things. Over the summer, he went to encampment, which is sort of like boot camp, but for teenagers. He loved it, although he said it was really hard, but I think it was really good for him. He says he's going back this coming summer, so we'll see. So he's 1 year in and about to start his second full year. He has ranked up once, and he's about to rank up a second time, and so we're really proud of him for that. Olivia, my sweet Olivia, she has kept playing her trumpet this year, which I think that might be about to change, which makes me a little sad, but it is what it is. She also dyed her hair purple this year, temporarily, which is something she's been wanting to do for a while, and I figure some battles are just not worth fighting, so we did that for a little while, and it was actually cute. And she is planning a solo trip to visit her cousin in Ohio, which she is really excited about for this coming summer of 2020. So that's what she's up to. We all took a family trip this past summer of 2019 to Ohio. We had a blast. We went to Columbus and we saw COSI, which is one of our favorite places. It's the coolest children's science museum. If you're ever in Columbus, Ohio, go. We also went to the zoo. I also met my birth mom and my birth grandmother and my half brother, which was kind of unexpected and very, very cool. I'm adopted, and I've always known that, but I never knew who my family was until recently. And they still live in Columbus, which is where I was born. And so we got to meet them and start a relationship with them. And so that was obviously immensely life changing. It was a very positive experience, and we're still in touch, and it's a wonderful thing. So that was super cool for me. The other huge life changing thing that happened for me, especially, but for all of us, was at the end of the school year last year, we made the decision for me to quit teaching. I had 17 years in both public and private school. And so we decided to make the leap from me working full time to me staying home full time. And there were a lot of factors that went into that decision making process. Primarily, the main one being Ford and his health, because we're never quite sure if he's going to be sick or well. And that was putting a lot of stress on me because he just needs a lot of extra care. And then we also decided to pull my two seventh graders and Ford out of school and homeschool them. So we are midway through our very first year ever of homeschooling after years and years of traditional school. So that has been a huge change, but a very positive change. Obviously, going from traditional school to homeschool is vastly different from what we've been used to, and so we have sort of been in this adjustment period, and I think we still are. I think we probably will be for a while, but we're getting it and we love it. The kids love it, I love it. It's new and different, but I think it's been very beneficial. I've seen a lot of growth in them, just both in their maturity and also academically. And I feel like everybody's happier, and I don't know, for us it was the right decision. And I don't want to get into a lot of details on YouTube about why we did it, but I would say if you are considering it for your children, then I think it's definitely the way to go. I know it's not for everybody, and that's okay. Like I said, my older two did traditional school through sixth grade, so they did lots of years of traditional school, but this is definitely working for us, and we're really excited. We got some new things coming up that we're adding to our kind of homeschool protocol, if you will, the second half of the school year, so we're excited about that. David has just been running the business, growing the business. He tends to be accident prone, which is maybe not the best way to be when you own a remodeling and repair business. But this year in 2019, the injuries were few. We only had one incident with the saw, and it wasn't that bad. We just cut the tips of some fingers almost off and then reattached them. No big deal. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy. It is, but that's not the worst injury we've ever had. So, considering what we've been through in the past, that feels pretty tame to us. So anyway, regardless, he is healthy right now and at work currently, and I think it's he really likes it. Definitely owning your own business, especially a small business, has a lot of challenges, and some days it's like, why did we decide to do this? But I think overall, the general feeling that we both have is that it was a good decision and that we're happy that we made it. So support small businesses, support local businesses. We need it, and we are really, really appreciative of local support. So if you have cool local businesses in your area, small businesses, please go out and support them. So YouTube. So just being completely transparent, I feel like a big old idiot whenever I try to sit down and film these videos, which is why I started, and then I sort of quit. And I've actually made a lot more videos than I ever have uploaded on YouTube. And my problem is that I am a perfectionist. I'm full on OCD perfectionist. And so I get these videos filmed and I watch them back when I start editing them. And I'm like, I hate the way I look. I hate the way I sound. I hate the way the light's reflecting off my glasses. Like, I find all of the things that are wrong with the video and I see nothing good in them. And the whole reason I started to do this in the first place is because I had so many people telling me that I should either start a blog, write a cookbook, write a book about Ford's story, post more on social media. You're so helpful. We love your information. Your recipes are so awesome. And so I was being encouraged to do this. And when I thought about how difficult our journey was when we found out that we had this crazy long list of foods we had to avoid, and I was literally like, what do I feed my child? And I think back and I just wish that I had had somebody that sort of could relate and understand and knew what it was like and could give me some ideas and give me some recipes. And the crazy thing is, sadly, the food allergy statistics right now is crazy. Like 1 in 13 children has a food allergy. That means that one child in every classroom in every school in America has a food allergy. That means at least one kid on your street, depending on how big your street is, maybe more, has a food allergy. That's insane. And I won't get into why I think food allergies are on the rise, but because that's debatable and that can get a little dicey. People have very strong opinions about that, and I do too. But regardless, the fact of the matter is food allergies are so common now. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't think I knew anybody that was allergic to anything, not food, certainly. And so it's a new thing and it's hard. It's hard living an allergy life. And I was always a big YouTube fan. Like, I love watching YouTube videos, mamas especially, because I can turn it on while I'm cooking and sort of listen and watch in the kitchen, or I can, watch when I'm, I don't know, at the waiting room at the doctor's office, or I can, I don't know. I love to watch YouTube. And so that naturally sort of felt like the best fit for me versus a blog or writing a book. I certainly don't feel equipped to write a book. Anyway, so that's why I started the YouTube channel. And then, oh, there's Ozzy. And then it totally fizzled because, like I said, I was hating every video I was making. And so finally David was like, my sweet husband, he is always the voice of reason in my life. He just was like, either do it or don't do it. Like, you don't have to do this. But I started looking on YouTube, and even like for blogs and things, there's not a whole lot of allergy life content out there, at least that I have found. If you know of a great mom YouTube channel that deals with food allergies and talks a lot about that on her channel, please tell me in the comments. Tell me, because I'd love it. I can't find any. Not this kind of channel where it's just, mom life, allergy life, one-on-one kind of videos. So if you know of any, please let me know. But there are a few blogs out there, but none of them seem real personal or real practical to me. And again, maybe I haven't found the right ones. So if you know a great blog, please post that below too. So anyway, all of that to say, I don't really do New Year's resolutions because they don't work. So what I started doing about 5 years ago was making goals for the new year. And I try to be really intentional about the goals and realistic. Like, what can I really, truly accomplish? Everybody's always posting the memes on Facebook or Instagram or whatever about, the beginning of the year, get ready, gym people. All those New Year's resolution people are going to be there the first 6 weeks. of a year and then they'll all disappear, you know, whatever those jokes are. But it's kind of true. And I can remember that, you know, I always made these lofty resolutions for myself. And hey, Kelsey, I didn't, sorry, he's really loud. And it never happened. And so when I changed my mindset and decided to start setting realistic goals for myself for the new year, and not very many of them, I found that I was able to actually succeed in that. So that said, I've prayed about it and I've decided that my heart is really to be able to help other mamas and daddies or grandmothers or big brothers or big sisters or whoever is out there trying to live this allergy life or the chronic illness life or just the mom life. Maybe it's not, maybe you don't have an allergy kid, but you just need some new fun recipes, or maybe you're transitioning from traditional school to homeschool, and it's hard. And I think those of us who have children who spent so much time in traditional school and then switched to homeschool, I think homeschooling is very different for our families than for families whose children have never known anything but homeschool. And so I think things have to be done a little bit differently sometimes, and that's okay. And so I watch a lot of homeschooler and mama YouTubers, but most of them have always done homeschool, and so I feel like it's a little bit different. So anyway, I've decided that my goal for the year is going to be to really focus on my YouTube channel and be consistent. And I'm not going to try to go overboard, and I'm going to not be a crazy perfectionist. Like, I'm just going to film and I'm going to edit and I'm going to upload it. And if I get a bunch of criticism, so be it. So my focus on my YouTube channel is going to be a lot of what I just said. Homeschooling content, especially homeschooling content for kids who have been used to traditional school. Obviously, allergy life content. I'm going to do some cook with me videos. I'm not good at a whole lot of things in life, truthfully, but I feel like I'm a pretty good cook. And in the 5 years that we have had to totally change how we eat, I think I've gotten pretty good at adapting recipes and changing recipes and making my own recipes up that are safe for my whole family to eat, which is a big deal. So I'm going to be posting some videos about that. So maybe some recipes you can try. And even if you don't need to avoid those foods, a lot of the allergens, the top 8 allergens, are not really that good for you anyway. So it may not hurt for you, you know, to have a dairy-free meal once or twice a week, even if you don't have to avoid dairy. Anyway, so some cooking, some recipes. I'll probably do some vlogging, keep you updated on Ford's health. Zazu is really getting vocal right now. And some things like that. And I'd just love to know in the comments what else you might like to know about specifically about our family, or, you know, what kind of content you'd like to see in my videos. So hopefully that wasn't too long-winded. Like I said earlier, I tend to ramble. Anyway, so I'm going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can manage this with everything else that's going on in our lives. But my goal is to post a video every single Friday in the year 2020. So, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video. Please give me some comments. Do you have an allergy kid? Do you want to see some allergy life content? Do you feel like you're the only one? Do you feel like you're alone? Do you feel like you don't know what to cook? It's hard, I get it. Are you a homeschooling mom? Did you just start being a homeschooling mom? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you not know what to do? Do you have big age gaps in your kids like me? I have 2 7th graders and a kinder. tell me. I want to know. I want to get to know you. I want to hear how I can help you. And I want to know how you can help me, because I'm sure there's lots of things that I can learn from you all. I do not pretend to have it all together. As a matter of fact, you should see this room in that direction. It's a big old mess. And don't even go in my kitchen right now. So subscribe, like, thumbs up my video, and comment below. Share all your awesome YouTubers and bloggers, because I love to read blogs and I love to watch YouTube channels, and I'm looking forward to just kind of making this space on my channel that will hopefully encourage your hearts and help you with life, whatever that may be. So, Happy New Year! See you next Friday.